And just like that, we are back once again, slightly later than usual, but we are here nonetheless. Welcome back, everyone, to the Changing Faces podcast. We are at episode 14 now, and well, for those of you who are enjoying the series so far, the podcast so far, please, it would warm our hearts for you to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and of course, you can follow us on your favorite podcast platform by searching for Changing Faces. If you're wondering what all the noise is in the background, apart from the music, this is Dave's bloody microphone, because he's gone off to get his dinner and he's left his mic on. He hasn't put himself on mute. So if you're wondering what all that random ambient noise is, it is the rumblings around of his house. But anyway, regardless, if you are wondering, and if you are listening to this as just an audio listener, then of course there are other places where you can tune in and listen to the podcast. We've got all sorts of places and platforms and what have you. And a special shout out to those who are tuning into this on our Mixcloud Live. You're a very rare bunch, but you do exist. But yeah, big shout out to you guys for checking us out on our Mixcloud page, which is just Changing Faces. What can I say about this episode? Oh man, we've got it all, and we've got so much going on, because of course we have to try and cover everything from, as a monthly podcast. And I always say this, but there's always so much. So what are we going to get into today? Well, actually, before I get into telling you all what we're going to get up to, we're also joined here by DJ Dan Singh, and as you can see, Dave's chair is currently the guest at the moment. DJ Dan Singh, you're on mute as well, so you can unmute yourself now.
Hi guys. I'm waving as well. There's my hands.
There he is, look. DJ Dan Singh in the house here. Yes, Dan, welcome back to the show, because you were last on 2 months ago, episode 12, weren't you?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And there was a lot to cover back then, and there's a lot to cover this time round. Dave's going to basically join us whenever he's ready, so his chair's just chilling in the background.
They're always jam-packed shows, these, aren't they?
They aren't they just? But what are we going to get into for this episode? Well, let me tell you. In literally a few seconds, we're going to be looking at the moments with John Summit and the champagne gun, and that was just a little something. A bit of a recap. It was from a while ago. Then we're going to be checking in with our favourite artist, Let's Paint TV, via Instagram. He's got another cracking coverage, or footage, so to speak, of one of his live performances recently. We're then going to go over to India, because we're going to go to Kolkata, and we're going to see an insane sales pitch for some speakers. Then we're going to go and see the most punctual DJ ever in a clip coming very soon. And then the Psytrance Warrior sighting. We've seen him, folks. The Psytrance Warrior does exist, and we're going to be seeing a little footage of him later on in the show. Then we're going to be, well, I'm not going to be this, but DJ Dan Singh and Dave Collins are going to be the DJ referees in this DJ beefing scenario, which is courtesy of DJ Tior underscore. Basically, some highlighted DJ beefing. And so Dan here, the DJ expert, along with Dave Collins, are going to be the referees for that. Then we're going to go into a bonus little bit of footage here from a guy in IKEA, and he's going to be talking about IKEA furniture as DJ names. Some very interesting insights there. And then we're going to have the...
I can't wait for that.
Oh, no, honestly, the names are cracking. And then we're going to finish the little section up from the web, which is something of a recent addition to the show, and it is Rate the Setup. Because in the last episode, we were looking at a very interesting DJ setup. For the life of me, I can't remember the actual name of the gentleman. However, it was a very interesting setup where it was a chap with I think it was an Allen and Heath Zone 92 mixer, and he had it sort of cantilevered on his wall with two little launch controller things. They had no jog wheels or anything like that, and it was a very interesting design setup. But this one is something a little bit different, and we're going to get into that later on in the show. And then following that, we've then got the news, and I'm telling you now, I've said this before, that Ibiza has so much going on, it could probably even need its own section. Well, folks, for this episode, we have got a Ibiza triple news section because there's that much going on. Can't say if it's good or bad news. It's very, very, well, you could argue some of it's bad, one bit of it is good. That's a bit of a sneak preview. But then after that, we've got more news going on that we're going to cover. So we've got some news about Juno download, and then we've also got Fisher becoming a gnome, and then we've also got electronic music bangers on the horizon, and that is in relation to an upcoming game that's going to be released very, very soon. And then we're going to end the show on a discussion topic, and it's coming from Dario Goldbach, who is a 3FM columnist, and he's basically started this debate about festivals and the economy of festivals as well. But we're going to get into that way later in the show. So that's it, basically. That's what we're all going to get into. Dan, do you think we should just start reviewing these clips? Because we've got loads to get through.
Yeah, there's so much to get through, James. Let's just get into it, man.
Actually, do you know what? Can I? Oh, there you go. Look. Oh, for goodness sake! I've just
realised you could have done that all that time.
Yeah, after all that, I can actually just remove him and add him when he comes back.
Yeah.
God, sometimes I forget my own controls. I swear to God. Anyway, let's start off the show with, like I said, we're gonna go. Wait. No, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Hang on, I'm flicking through them all. Is it that one? No, it's not that one. There it is. I think it's this one. Yes. As mentioned, we're going to start off the show by going to see a little recap of what John Summit did with the champagne gun. This comes courtesy of at How TF We Feeling on Instagram. But DJ Dan Sig, your reactions to this? It's the look from the sound engineer, poor bloke.
Yeah.
Like towards the end of that, you can just see his expression. He's not impressed.
Yeah, he's not impressed. He's like, I've got to clean all that up.
Also, I know it was a very profound thing to say, the champagne gun, but it quite literally is, wouldn't you say, Dan? Or to describe it to audio listeners.
No, it is. It looks very much like a water pistol, kind of super soaker kind of thing with a bottle of champagne in it.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
I've never seen that. I think the sound guy's his only kind of solace in this whole matter is at least it's not cake from Steve Aoki, right? It's like that's the only thing that would be worse to get out of the decks than champagne, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I've seen that Dave's back as well. There he is.
Hey, sorry about that, guys. It's all systems go here, you know.
I know. We heard it.
Oh man.
Yes.
Oh really? Oh sorry. It's my folks.
We had to briefly remove you because we could hear your parents. So I was like,
sorry.
Yeah, we have to drop you. So just to protect the privacies. But Dave Collins, instant reactions to John Summit and his champagne gun.
What?
There you go. He struck you right in it.
Yes.
There you go. This is the real reaction from Dave Collins here.
So there you go. Look. He has.
Is that the bubbles, or is it literally just a gun?
He's loaded the gun now with a champagne bottle, and look what he does now for the drop down.
Oh my god, they're amazing, aren't they?
Yeah, but look, it's going all over the deck.
Oh yeah, well, this is yet another promotional material on why Alpha Theta needs to make their decks waterproof. You know what I mean? I've seen so many of these scenarios.
IP67 rated.
Oh, are they?
3000s.
Oh, yeah. Mate, it's a thing. So many got water damage. I think, maybe they should be waterproof, you know?
But notice though that like towards the end of the clip, he literally turns and someone has conveniently got a towel.
Yeah.
He's like, oh look, oh shit, I've put the champagne everywhere. And he turns around, look, he's like, oh look, there's the towel. All I say is that imagine going on right after him and he's just like sauced it in champagne.
Yeah.
Well, we quite often do that little thing where we go around with our Dettol wipes, don't we? You'd need a whole like towel and stuff like that to get it back again, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. You would definitely need definitely need the wipes and so on. But I will say you won't need wipes to observe this amazing performance from the likes of Let's Paint TV. For folks who've often watched our podcast, this gentleman has been covered before, and he was in his home doing a really crazy live performance. But this time he's on the street. Gentlemen, your instant reactions to this artistic piece.
Just keep on going. Don't worry about it. It makes sense. Don't worry about your life. It makes sense. You gotta keep on just going with it. Keep on going, people.
I almost want to take my headphones off. What is going on?
It makes sense. You gotta keep on just going with it. Keep on going, people. Just keep on going. Don't worry about it.
Also, can I just quickly add? I have no idea why he's painting at the same time as well.
That's the visual side of the set. You know what I mean? It's not an LED screen; it's a paint session.
So, just for the listeners that don't have the benefit of the visuals on this guy he's in the street and he's got like an artist's easel and he's painting, but he's also got like a keyboard and would you say it's a xylophone, and he's just like randomly banging on these things.
Yes, precisely.
I don't know if, like, respectfully, but is he on drugs? Has he escaped from an asylum? There's something not quite right here.
Do you know what I love? I love the fact that he possibly had to get a busker's license, and they probably asked him, "What are you going to do?" He's like, "I'm going to perform." And they've gone, "Oh, all right." And they had no idea what he was going to do. But hey, it's one hell of a performance. Dave Collins, he's saying, "Keep on going, people," and so on. He's
just keep on going. Don't worry about it.
How positive do you feel?
Don't worry about your life. It makes sense. You gotta keep on just going with it. Keep on going, people.
Nice to see I haven't missed anything important then, Chang. You know what I mean?
Well, I've also noticed as well the top of his hat says "Embrace failure." Failure. Well, he spelled failure wrong. He's FAILARE.
Yeah,
but there you go. Fail.
It's probably supposed to be ironic.
Yeah, perhaps. And of course, Sandy Loves Music comes in with a comment here saying, "Get him to Coachella now." Divorce.pdf also comes in by saying, "Dan would love to see you live." Clem 86 comes in by saying, "The voice of a generation."
Yeah, I'm not sure which generation, but
yes, Let's Paint TV. We salute you, sir. We could definitely say we are fans of I was going to say of your musical. Well, I can't really say if it's talent, but it's. I mean, hey, none of us thought of that, did we?
It's amusing.
at the very least. Perhaps he could be buying a speaker from this gentleman, because we're going to go over to Kolkata now. Dave, I forgot to mention actually, we did actually run through a summary of what we're going to cover, but you're seeing this fresh. But this comes courtesy of at Abhi Made in India _ on Instagram. And these are two gentlemen trying to sell you some speakers for some parties. I would like to know how interested you are with this.
could try to turn them on. Like,
500 वाट का स्पीकर लगेगा 1 2 3 4 आपका टॉप रहने वाला है और 1500 वाट का 4 बेस रहने वाला है इसके साथ में आपका 2 एम्पलीफायर जो कि ऑडियो प्रो का आपका मशीन रहेगा 4000 वाट का और फ्री जो गिफ्टेड होगा भैया आपका 6 चैनल का मिक्सर डीजे बेल्ट माइक वाला इसका जो रेट भैया पानी का दाम 1,10,000 इसको लेने के लिए न्यू अमान इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स से आपको टच करना होगा तो लेने के लिए क्या करो फटाफट करके सिम में नंबर दिया कॉल करें नहीं तो डायरेक्ट शॉप पे विजिट करें अरे भैया कब तक चलाएगा पूरा
geez, dude's strong though, right? I couldn't do that with a speaker, to be honest with you. So, like,
No, I also love the caption at the top says "New Amon Electronics." So, like, well, it may be new, but it may be fucked as well.
yeah, no, right.
By the time they get through with it,
Yeah.
I'm also a big fan of this guy. Like,
is he going to get a deluge of phone calls now we've featured him on the show? It's like, dude, have you got any of those speakers left?
Yeah.
The indestructible ones, the ones that you can throw around in the street.
You know what? Like, I've been on my socials for some reason recently. There's been this guy just making bass cabs and like showing how he makes them and stuff. It's fascinating. I never knew it was like so like I want to say basic, but like basically it's all sound dynamics. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
just go through the crafting process. I didn't realize speakers work like that. To be honest with you, it was wild.
well,
A lot of people don't realise that there's actually 2 magnets in them because you can only kind of see one when you take it apart. But actually,
Yeah, this is before any electronics. It was just literally the cab. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And he's shown like how different designs of cabs sound completely different. And I was like, wow, that's actually weird. I never thought of that.
well, you should get these guys to sell the speakers for him.
Yeah, I'll get these guys to do it. They seem at least they can do delivery, you know what I mean? A bit like that.
This guy's like,
who needs Amazon trains when you can just lob it?
yeah, I was gonna say like you'll come to your address and be like, what floor are you on? You'd be like, oh, the 10th. He's like, no problem. He's like, there you go. I just love how it starts with like, you know, it starts with this guy who's like in your face, slapping it around. He's shouting at everyone. And then this guy just comes in really calmly to be like, these are the things we have on sale.
See, I thought that was like a customer kicking off at him or something. Like, these pieces of shit don't work. I was like, no, they're just trying to sell it. You know what I mean?
I just love the fact that he was off camera because he was obviously clearly taking a breather, like.
maybe it's a strategy.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's a hard sell, soft sell.
The guys like you know, he's getting your attention, and once he's got your attention by doing that, then the guy comes in and does his kind of more kind of slick sales pitch,
like good cop, bad cop, but with selling speakers in Kolkata.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it.
But the ultimate question, gents, is: are you going to pick up the phone and call him and want some speakers off him?
Yeah, I don't know.
Work after that, like
shipping is going to be on those, but you know.
Well, it says here, obviously, also in the quote here, it says the deals in Ahuja Thangan Sanlosh Studio Master Proreshtanas Days Q1 Universal Piano.
You want to call them up and say, so if your speaker's been drop tested, get
Oh my god, it's like, you know, the mass phone case things where they drop them off the top of buildings and things like that.
Oh
like,
my god!
And the phone's still away. So this guy's doing the same thing for speakers, right?
That's what they must have seen. They must have been like, "Oh, we can do something better."
Yeah,
let's get all them speakers out on the street. Let's absolutely hurl one. I think you've hit the nail on the head there, Mr. Daniel. But yeah, so great highlight there. But I'll tell you what, hey, I mean, I hope that makes people call them up to actually buy them speakers. You never know. We're now going to move on to the most punctual DJ ever, and quite literally, all I'm going to say is, in the times that I've DJed, you know, when it comes towards the end, usually you try and angle it in a way that like you finish with the last song and it ends and it's all perfectly in time, right? Well, all I'm going to say is, there has been times in the past where I wish I could have done this, and I'm sure I'm not the only one to have said this, but let me just quickly just double check. Yeah, this comes courtesy of @NoamKM on Instagram. Right before his set ends at 2 a.m., Johnson, caption is 1:59. So literally within seconds. I'd like to get your opinion on this.
Oh, this is like really just plugs it out. Yeah, I've seen loads of these, man.
Look how quick he bounces.
But we out of here. Peace.
I mean, hey, I'm money.
I'm going to say this, right? I think that's the venue's fault because the venue should be pushing people out the venue far before this happens. Do you know what I mean? Like, they should be saying, right, you know, time to go and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what used to happen back in the 90s is, you know, the club would have license till 2, and then there'd be like a bit of a kind of cushion in order to get people out. And, you know, we'd all stand in front of the DJ box at Renaissance and at Progress, you know, and at Gatecrasher and places like that, go, one more, right?
Yeah.
And then eventually the DJ come back and you'd probably get 2 more tracks. And they would be kind of epic tracks. It wasn't about the mixing at that point. It was just about the tracks that were going to stay with you for the rest of the week until you were back in the club the next week. You know?
Yeah, you got a point actually, because I always, for like really big nights, I always like to finish off with just like a really weird chill out ambient track. I think it's just a great way to end the night instead of like a big like banger. You know what I mean? Just
I've quite often finished my sets with like a disco classic.
Oh no, I mean like real chill out.
Like that,
yeah,
you know, like,
I'll put something on from Blade Runner or something, and I'm like, okay, end of it. You know what I mean?
And it's going to have one of 2 effects. People are either going to love it or they're going to be like, yeah, okay, it's time to go home. So,
yeah, time to go because it's shit.
It does the business whichever way, right?
Yeah, and actually that perfectly mixes in with this comment here from Kian Kastner on Instagram, who says, quote, as a security guard who hates when they go over 5 minutes, I love you for this.
Yeah, because the thing is, you don't want to hold up the rest of the staff. This is sort of my logic as well. So if you play an extra 5 minutes, the bar staff are going to be like, oh, come on. The bouncers are going to be like, oh, come on. Everyone's going to be sort of waiting, looking at their watches, thinking, come on, we want to go home. Like, I don't know. Depends on the venue.
I feel like it didn't used to be like that. People were just so into the music like back then that like they were kind of still up for it, and you know, and yeah, it was their time, but you know, but everybody seems to be like, oh no, I want to go home now. And it's like
it's interesting because I've always thought it'd be nice. This is like a bit of a weird hot take. If the DJ finished like 30 minutes early in a weird sort of way, the idea being that once the set's over, everyone could just sort of chill out for 30 minutes and just sort of like chat. Do you know what I mean? Because that usually happens outside the venue or something. Whereas, do you know what I mean? Like, I've seen it a few times where a DJ set ends and the bouncer's like, right, everyone get out, go out, go. And everyone's like, just sort of like trying to sort of just chill out at the end of the night a little bit. And I'm like, yeah, that little chill out bit at the end of the night is actually really cool. It'd be nice if that was like more explored, because sometimes the set ends, everyone gets shoved outside and everyone's a bit shell shocked. Like, oh no, what do we do now? Where do we go? Where can we get a drink? Yeah.
And people often do, don't they? Like, people do love to, like, you know, just chat at the end or in the smoking area outside or whatever.
I went out this week just gone, and that literally happened. So, like, they finished the night off and they were like, you know, cheers, everyone. And everyone was just sort of like, man, that was really good, but we're not sort of ready to go home. You know, where should we go for a drink? And eventually people went out to the smoking area and they sort of bumbled onto the venue next door. And I thought, man, they've lost a trick there, this venue. If they just finished like 10 minutes earlier, they would have made bar sales for all those people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It made me think a little bit about how to structure the end of a night.
I feel like they need to advertise it though, because otherwise people would be going, "Oh, we got stiff to finish."
Yeah. I'm not like nerds. Not 1 hour early. That's a bit insane. But like just enough for people to sort of like, you know, sort of hang around a little bit.
Or you could like wind down, isn't it? Like a nice wind down. Yeah, I see what you mean. I will say though, I wouldn't dare do any of that with this next person, because this is the sighting of the Psytrance Warrior, as mentioned, courtesy of Vinny Vici Music, who captured this. there's not a shot in hell's chance I would ever do it to this person because I feel like he would literally rip your face off. But Joseph, your instant reactions to the sighting of the Psytrance Warrior.
It's like Techno Viking's brother. Oh my god.
The one thing I love is the guy with the black t-shirt behind him because he seems like terrified to move because this guy's in front of him. Like he's kind of like, yeah, seems cool, and he's there like bomb, right in front of him. But hey, all I can say is I'd be terrified if I was right behind him as well. Joseph, instant reactions to Psytrance Warrior.
It's like if Kratos went to a rave, innit? You know what I mean?
I think actually, you know what? When people get into that,
rave,
you know, as long as he's not like bouncing off of you and dancing on you, it's cool. You know, it brings the energy, and everybody else gets into it, and the DJ's like, yeah, bring more people that want to get into it like that. You know,
that's the thing, though. If it's someone that's bouncing into people and bumbling around, oh my god!
But there's plenty of space around him, so you know, I think that's okay. And honestly, I'd rather have a bunch of guys like that dancing than people just standing there not dancing, looking at video and everything on their phones.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all I'll say is that we do let's just put this out there now. We are not shitting on the Psytrance Warrior. We're actually quite.
Please don't beat us up.
Yeah, please don't beat us up. I would like my back in one line, please.
He's probably a chiropractor or something. He looks like he knows his way around the human body, doesn't he?
I mean, Jesus Christ, if he's a chiropractor, I mean, I think I'd be terrified to go and see him. To be honest.
Don't you want a body like that, though? I mean, come on, that's a good advertisement, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I definitely want he must be some form of fitness instructor or something, right?
Or like an actor or a stuntman or something like that to be kind of that ripped, right?
He's just raves. That's it. It's just raves.
Maybe that is the case. Maybe this is just how he parties. But but yes, it's this guy here. I mean, you know, I don't think
it's legit me at a rave. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, pretty tired, can't move, I'm done.
It might just be the fear of this dude in front of him because, like surely you can't match his energy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like he's about to rip that standing half.
But hey, I tell you what a jacked dude. My goodness. But yes, Psytrance Warrior, he is a real person and he does exist. So yeah. So we're going to move on from the Psytrance Warrior now, and we're going to be observing some DJ beefing. And Dave, you missed this before, but in the build up to telling everyone what we're going to be reviewing, what have you, I actually did say that for this section, you and Dan are going to be DJ referees for this scenario. DJ referees, yeah. So basically, this is in regards to some DJ beef. Yeah. So get. So
I need some cards or something.
Have we got a criteria or something?
Yeah. What's the criteria?
Well, essentially, you're gonna have to decide upon who's right and who's wrong, and who gets a yellow card, who gets a red card, or does it go to VAR for an instant replay? But yeah, essentially, this comes courtesy of DJ Ture, I think that you would pronounce it. Ture. So DJ Ture _ on Instagram. I'm going to play the video first. I'm just going to quickly check. Oh no, yeah, that's not sound. So I'm going to quickly play the video, and I'm going to, for audio listeners, it is just simply DJs at a DJ booth in a club, and they are just doing a changeover. But we'll quickly read the caption of it as well.
This was my birthday DJ set, and this other DJ ruined it. My set time ended at 12:30 a.m. At 12:13 a.m., he started setting up his equipment and trying to kick me off. I told him my set didn't end till 12:30. I'm not leaving. Then he does this.
Wait, so was it the end of his set? I'm confused.
This was my birthday DJ set, and this other DJ ruined it.
So this was
My set time ended at 12:30 a.m.
Right.
At 12:13 a.m., he started setting
13.
his equipment and trying to kick me off.
so 15
I
minutes
told
early.
him my set didn't end till 12:30. I'm not leaving. Then he does this.
Yeah, what a dick move. Yeah, I don't know.
However, so I'm just going to keep that playing now. So obviously that's so that was the caption, obviously, in the video, and then he in the post he says, "quote I spent weeks preparing a special DJ set for my birthday and invited all my friends just to have it ruined by a fellow DJ." I believe this was in somewhere in New York City. So there's that. However, it would appear the fellow DJ, if not potentially the promoter, actually responded to this clip, and they say, quote, "Hi, DJ Tio. We truly respect your work and want to address this calmly so there's no misunderstanding. We're sorry the situation during your set felt upsetting. That was never our intention. Here's the insight what actually happened. The doors for our event opened at 11 p.m. and from 11 p.m. we had been gently requesting you that the music transition to Bollywood at 12 a.m. as agreed with the venue management and ownership. By 12 a.m. we had over 200 guests already inside waiting specifically for the Bollywood set to begin. We still waited till 12:15 a.m. We were enjoying your set ourselves. The club owner personally stepped in at 12 a.m. and repeatedly pushed for the switch to happen, with both security and the manager present when it happened. The owner was yelling at us to make the switch. If this was truly out of line, the venue owner / manager / security would have stopped it. Instead, the manager acknowledged the situation and stepped in to make sure it was handled respectfully, including offering a complimentary bottle to you as a goodwill gesture, which was accepted by you and served. This wasn't something we did unilaterally. It was driven by the venue's direction and the expectations of the guests. The venue owner / management has also made multiple apologies to you. We absolutely understand why you are upset, and this should never happen to any DJ, but you need to take this up with the management and the owner. We are more than happy to support you on
There's
this.
a bit of deception going on here then.
Wishing you nothing but the best for your future endeavors, and that got 116 likes. Dave, I'm going to come to you first as the referee. How are you reviewing the DJ Tio's side of the argument and theirs?
Well, did he disagree with that statement first of all, or did he basically agree with it? Because if he agreed with it, then what needs to be worked on is just the visuals of this. So the biggest thing from the promoter side of thing they need to take away, in my opinion, is if you've got an agreement with the venue that at like 12 o'clock you're going to switch to a specific genre, you either like really tell the DJ beforehand that has to happen, or what I personally do is say your set ends at midnight and then someone else is taken over at midnight with a different style. Because we all know how difficult it is when you're in the middle of a set to just switch style like that as a requirement. So like you have a DJ that's specifically going to get on when the style change is required. Don't like say to a DJ halfway through, can you just like change it to Bollywood? Because that's like, it's really hard to do sometimes, right? You lose track of time, or you're in the set, you're in the zone, you think, oh my God, how am I going to transition to this? And so like, next time they do one of these things, if they've got an agreement with the venue like that, which on the face of it is kind of a weird requirement anyway, but if that requirement is in place, they just have a different DJ like say, right, your set ends at midnight and a different guy comes on at midnight, which is a completely different style, and that's it, sort of thing. That's my take. But
DJ Dancing, you've got give yourself a minute to explain yourself for your refereeing decision.
I think
but the way that went down looks horrible, obviously. You know, the video.
Yeah, so that was the promoter's response. Has DJ Tio responded to them, James? Can you scroll down? Is there a response from him based on that? Does he say it's like utter BS, or that never happened, or you know?
I'm not seeing a response from him now.
You know, I think people shouldn't be switched off like that. That was wrong. But I think Dave makes a good point where if you're going to tell somebody they can play till 12:30, then they should play till 12:30. If you've asked them to change the style at midnight, then either if you're playing at midnight, you should change. You should know that in advance. I mean, I think ultimately it's not about, it was my birthday, I'm going to play whatever I want. That's not it, right? The point is that as a good DJ, you go to the venue and you understand the expectations of the venue.
So in football terms, what are you reaching for? It sounds like you're going to reach for a yellow card, but for who?
I think a yellow card for the DJ that was playing, and a red card for the DJ that switched him off.
See, this could have been done so much easier. Instead of DJ going on and literally kicking him out, just turn down the music at the venue. Easy. Yeah. Just turn the fader out from behind the bar. And then when the DJ says, what's going on? You say, you're done. This other guy's taking over now. Just do it like that.
Because then we kind of forget, but actually the venue does have control over the amps and stuff like that. It's not because we kind of view the DJ box as the control center. You're not actually in control. Your sound guy's got control over it, as we've seen with the new DJ A9 and stuff like that. That's got all the kind of back end facilities in for the sound guy to make adjustments and things like that to the levels and things like that as well. So actually there's a lot that they could have done. They could have gently faded it out, as Dave suggested, rather than the other guy going in and going yank it down like that. He gets a red card for yanking it down like that, because that was disrespectful.
Dave, Dave, as you being the referee, what are you issuing? Any cards or just
I think a card for the way it was done, because you got to think when you're behind the decks like that, it's all about visuals, right? And so if you just look at this, you think, man, this DJ's a cock. You know what I mean? Like that's the first thing you think of, and 99% of people are going to think that. And now just think about how it looks. You know what I mean? Not what's required, not what the venue's telling you to do, but how it looks, right? How it looks when you play it out. And so you need to do it in a way that doesn't look like disrespectful, but this definitely looks disrespectful, So I'm going to give him this sort of behavior I'm against 100% of the time. So I give a red card for this behavior. You know what I mean? I think this is terrible behavior, but like the way it should have been planned out completely better, right? And so that's just something to learn for next time. So I give a yellow card to the promoters because they were under pressure from the bar staff and all this. But I give a red card for the way this was handled, because it just looks terrible. You know what I mean? And,
refereeing decisions. No VAR required.
But it looks terrible, doesn't it?
Yeah. Could you imagine this at in Universe or something? It would be people go ballistic. You know what I mean?
It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen.
Yeah. No, but I will. We are drastically over our time here by 8 friggin' minutes. So I'm going to quickly do our sponsored break before I forget about it. And then we're going to continue with the last 2 things, but they should be really, really quick anyway. So let me put you away for 1 second and tell everyone about the Changing Faces Mixcloud Select, because it's the top spot for your premium CF premium content, and it is the #1 place where you can help support the team. Mixcloud.com/Changing Faces, all as one word, is the place to go. And with a select subscription, you get playback controls enabled, early access to our shows, and some exclusives thrown in there for good measure. And on top of all of that, it supports us here at Changing Faces. One more time, that's mixcloud.com/Changing Faces, all as one word, or find out more on our site, changingfaces.live. For all other updates and posts, be sure to find us over on places like Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, X, and of course, YouTube by searching for Changing Faces or our handle @Hey Changing Faces. Don't forget, if you want something mentioning, be it a product, service, release, or whatever in our sponsored break, be sure to email us at hellochangingfaces@gmail.com. Gents, the next thing we're going to look at very, very briefly, or quickly, should I say, is IKEA furniture as DJ names. Yes, Dave, you heard that right. But
Mate, want to buy a table already? Want to buy a kitchen set?
I think this contains copyrighted music, so yeah, it does. So unfortunately, I can't play the music, but he does match it with the genre. But I want to get your opinions of this. Dan, if you can't see the names, just let us know. But it comes courtesy of Havlakus on Instagram.
Off-Joe. He's an off-Joe DJ.
And then Hard Techno is Trofast.
Okay.
And then Dromsk for Hypnotic Techno. Yes. And of course,
okay.
Yes, that does sound like a melodic house artist name there.
That's an awful name for a DJ.
Trofast, definitely a techno artist. A Dromsk I would also throw in there, yes, definitely.
Is it Dromsk or is it, do the umlauts make it Dromsk? Like a more O sound, right?
Yeah. For this one, there's like 2 umlauts over the O and A, so maybe it's pronounced slightly different. But yeah, Trofast definitely sounds techno, and so does Dromsk. But yes, that was courtesy of Havlakus on Instagram and Disco Rapido as well. So that was just a very quick mentioning here. Now, speaking of DJing, we're going to continue with that theme of DJing because it is time for the very new segment of Rate the Setup. Dave, do you remember Rate the Setup in the previous episode?
Yeah.
Yep. So basically, we're back again, and this time it comes courtesy of. Oh, it's going to be a hard one to pronounce. I think it's courtesy of Scheibenwischer. But gentlemen, I would like your opinions on this very interesting setup.
A 20-year-old setup. That's hard to think. I've spun on decks a bit like that, and they are very hard to spin on. So I think they're harder than turntables, honestly. It's like,
yeah, and actually, Scheibenwischer says here, quote, I prefer this over CDJ 3000.
I don't know about that. It is rough.
No, sorry, no. I've played on that. I've played on those. The mixer, that's looks like a DJM 600 or possibly a DJM 500. It's certainly that age in the Pioneer range on that, isn't it? But
yeah. And what are your thoughts on that setup generally? If
you were to play on it, you know what I mean? Like I always say, if it sounds good, then it works. But like,
absolutely.
Those decks are hard to DJ with because you've got no pitch bends, no jogs, nothing. You've got a pitch slider, and that's it. You know, like
yeah, they are. I'm not quite sure what the actual make is, but they say it looks like it says DJ 11. Has anyone ever seen these before?
Not those ones specifically.
Not those ones.
No, they look a bit like the old Gemini ones, to be honest with you. But they're probably some.
They're very humbling decks, though, man. Like I've seen DJs cry at those sort of style. You know what I mean?
Very humbling. Yeah, it's funny actually. Speaking of LBM 12 DJ says on Instagram here, quote. We all use an early 80s SL 1200 and there are no problems and amazing as long as it's in good condition, of course. So now a mid-90s CDJ, most DJs who use it turn up their noses and say, are you crazy to play with that? Well, watching your video inspired me even more. Congratulations.
Yeah. He's got a good point, man. Yeah.
Or essentially DLV _official says here, quote, No record box, no problem. What do you think about that, Dave?
I clap at that, honestly, mate. It sounds crazy, but I was actually on eBay a couple of weeks ago, and I saw someone selling off their CDJ 1000 Mark IIIs, and he's selling off a pair for 200 quid. And I was like, man, they were my dream decks when I was starting out. They were like, they were my dream decks. And I was like, I would just love to have them because I think they're really fun to play on even now. Yeah, they're not super integrated with computer stuff, but they are just fun to use, man. And I was really tempted to just buy some and just go back to CDs, So
the Mark IIIs were definitely a step up as well because the Mark IIs you had to put the SD card in them for your key points and stuff like that.
Man, yeah, there's a lot of weird quirks, wasn't there?
Store your key points on the same drive as your thing. So it's like,
Or Brian Gnome 1 on Instagram here says, no need for fancy functions. All you need is a pitch control and some way to nudge. The rest is all feel, baby.
There's no nudge on those, baby. It's just the pitch slider from what I can see.
Well, but to be fair, that's what we used to do on the Technics, You'd kind of nudge
even with a turntable, you've got more control because you can literally stop the music with your fingers on the vinyl. That hasn't even got that. You know what I mean? That's just literally one button and a pitch slider. It's like, dude.
Yeah.
Nah. I think people overestimate how hard it is to mix on vinyl, in my opinion. I know that sounds super snobby, but honestly, vinyl, I think, is easier to beat match on than a CDJ if you do it manually. I just think that.
Yeah. Every time I've seen people play vinyl.
The original CDJ 100s and the CDJ 500s and stuff like that, it's certainly easier than that because they just didn't literally have any kind of jog on it at all.
Yeah.
You get more drift and things like that on your Technics, but it's still you're right. You can cue it in with your hand and you get the feel for it.
You just get a lot more control over it.
Quite a lot of vinyl behind me.
yeah. And this is the thing. I encourage any DJ, don't be scared of vinyl because it's easier than it looks in regards to not putting down scratching because that's a completely different discussion altogether. But if you just want, if you want to beat match a record, you get loads of control on a turntable compared to a jog wheel. You know what I mean? Because you can literally physically slow down the resistance of the platter on a turntable, and you can't do that on a CDJ. You know what I mean? So there's lots of little things there.
And in closing, gents, I actually forgot to ask the pair of you. That segment was rate the setup. So, gents,
I mean,
how do you rate it?
It's trash, but if it works, it works. So I mean,
yeah, absolutely. Look, the reality of it is, I'm never going to say anything bad about anybody's setup because at the end of the day, not everybody can afford CDJ 3000s, and a brand new A9 mix or an Allen and Heath mixer or something like that, right? We all start somewhere. We start with what we do, and we do it for the love of the music, right?
Yeah.
We've all played on belt drive turntables and stuff like that, and they are not easy, right? As difficult as vinyl is, belt drives are even those.
I've never used belts.
Yeah.
So I've never used belts.
I barely know what the fuck you're going on about.
Well, direct drives, at least they keep time, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. About fluctuations, I've never had that, but I've never used a belt before, so yeah.
Yeah, but the old belt drive Nemarks and stuff like that, they were not easy. But
it's it's better you than me, Dan. That's all I'm gonna say. I know I wouldn't touch anyone go anywhere near that stuff. I tell you. We're gonna move on to the news now, and gents, we are going over to our BFA because so Dave, basically, as I was saying before to Dan and to everyone else, because there's so much drama going on in Ibiza, we've now got in a section of the news, we've got a Ibiza triple news bonanza to bring to you and to everyone else.
All right.
And unfortunately, this first one that we're starting with, it's not good news, I'm afraid. I've titled it Es Puetó, no puedo. This one hitting home as it's a place me and some of the team have been to in the past. The beloved Es Puetó is closing its doors, or lack of, for good.
Oh, is this a little restaurant in San Antonio on the beach?
It most certainly is, Dave. This comes courtesy of Sweet Cream _ Ibiza, who says from 6 weeks ago, quote, a major blow to local heritage in Ibiza. The courts have just confirmed the closure of the legendary Chiringuito Es Puetó 1969 in San Antonio. A decision by the High Court of the Balearic Islands puts an end to decades of activity at this iconic spot on the Ibizan coastline. The reason is overcrowding of the coast and increasing pressure on the environment. The Coastal Authority had already refused to renew its operating permit in 2017. This decision has now been upheld by the courts, which ruled that the use of the maritime domain must remain regulated and serve the public interest. Open since the 1970s, this beach bar was part of the local scene, embodying tradition and the Ibizan Dolce Vita. But between service saturation, non-compliant facilities, and the desire to regulate tourism, the model is clearly changing on the island. Behind this closure lies a fundamental trend. Ibiza is seeking to preserve its coastline and move upmarket. One question remains. By constantly regulating, isn't the island risking losing part of its soul? Between protection and identity, the balance appears more fragile than ever. Johnson, instant reactions to Es Puetó.
Sad, man. I went there last year. I didn't realize it was in danger. Damn.
Dan, have you ever been to this place?
Yeah, I have actually. Yeah, a long time ago, years and years ago, when my mum first moved out to the island. So
yeah, it's
Look at that sunset there. Oh,
can one of you explain to the audience, if whoever has, if they haven't been, can one of you explain it to us?
I mean, it's just like a little beach bar. It's nothing crazy. I had brekkie there last year. You know what I mean? It's just super cheap, cheerful, and just like good vibes. And it's like literally in the sea. So it's like on the little sort of jetty that goes out, if you know what I mean.
I think you've absolutely nailed it on the head there, and you're absolutely right in the sense of the Chiringuito Es Puetó is just a very no frills basic cafe restaurant place, or Chiringuito literally, but it's amazing because you see the sunset, it's great, and it's not that expensive either. But do you think this is a right decision by the authorities or the wrong decision by the authorities?
I can understand the authorities' position, but yeah, go on there.
I'll just kind of wade in a little bit. I think the key thing for me in that statement was non-compliance.
Yeah,
and I wonder if they'd been compliant, if it would have been an issue in the first place. Yes.
Well, I know
they're starting to get a lot tougher.
Yeah, and I know the toilets were very basic. I remember that.
Just think of the pollution as well, right? There must be a lot of pollution, like unintentionally maybe, but yeah, like just think of like bits and pieces falling off into the sea,
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think there was that was definitely a possibility of that happening. It is very much a shame though, because I do remember if you remember, Dave, we stayed very close in that area.
Yeah,
and
we
that
stayed
was a great little spot.
Yeah, the Marina Playa, which we played at twice.
Yeah, we did.
Literally next to that, yeah.
Yeah. So and this was a nice little chill out spot, and as I said, it wasn't somewhere that was horrendously expensive. It was just a very basic prices, but very good food, good drinks and everything, and everyone was nice and everything. But
certainly sad though, mate, because that's definitely one of the unique little bars in that area, to be honest with you. So
it most certainly is, and obviously that is a little bit sad. I'm gonna just kind of continue the trend, unfortunately, with some other troubling news on the island.
Everyone better be positive, mate. I'm just saying.
I'm maybe it's this Instagram account, I don't know, but it comes courtesy of Sweet Cream _Ibiza again, and Pikes Ibiza in urban planning trouble. Oh God, not more local authority trouble, but yes, from the closure of Es Vedra to the closure of Es Puetó, and now this. So let's read more. A headache for the island's most iconic hotel, writes Sweet Cream _Ibiza. Saying more, quote, Pikes Ibiza is under scrutiny. A complaint has just been filed for possible violations of the urban planning regulations right at the start of the season. Clearly, timing is no coincidence. According to Aon, several activities are allegedly being carried out without the necessary permits. Parties, facilities, and land uses deemed non-compliant. The report even mentions a partially protected area where certain constructions or activities are prohibited. The situation could well cause a stir beyond just the DJ booth. The association is now demanding immediate inspections, licenses, capacity, noise pollution. Everything must be thoroughly examined. Also under scrutiny are complaints from local residents highlighting the chaos and disturbances associated with some parties. As summer 2026 approaches, this case sends a clear message. In Ibiza, partying is allowed, but not without rules. It remains to be seen whether this affair will be a mere wake-up call or a real turning point for one of the island's most iconic spots. End quote. Gentlemen, instant reactions, urban planning regulations, breaking the rules. DJ Dancer.
On this, firstly, firstly, the place is iconic. It's part of what Ibiza is.
Are you saying how dare they?
Yeah, how very dare they? but also, have we all been there? Certainly,
yeah,
I've been there many times. James has been there. I know. I don't know if Dave's been there.
Yeah, no, Dave. Oh, Dave's been there.
Yeah, and honestly, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. So who's making these noise complaints? So there's literally like fields around it and stuff like that, right?
From an urban planning perspective, it does make me wonder where that sits, because Dan, if I'm not mistaken, Pikes is or was just a house, right?
Yeah.
It's just a villa. So
when you go up, you go from the main road and you turn off and you go up this kind of unpaved track. And you've got the fields and stuff on the left hand side of it, and then you eventually come to the Pikes car park, and you've got that big shed with the quote on it from the Eagles, from Hotel California.
But again, though, it makes you think, though, because I know if you have a domestic property like a villa or a house, I'm sure regulations are completely different. But it obviously is a commercial business. It's a hotel and a club.
And it has been for decades.
Has been for decades. But obviously, originally the land and the villa was just a house back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah, when Tony
do you think
went to the island, yeah.
Do you think there's like some legal black hole grey area for this thing?
No, I don't think so. I think if there had been, it would have come up before now.
Dave, what is your opinion on this urban planning rules? And also,
I don't know anything about urban planning, mate. So
what? You know nothing about urban planning?
Not even the slightest. But I will say this: who's making the noise complaints? Is it the sheep in the fields?
Exactly. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, licenses,
the olive
capacity, noise pollution.
Yeah, I don't know.
What noise pollution? I mean, what noise pollution? To who? To where?
Local residents, they say.
And Freddie's bar is indoors.
Just
that's kind of contained sound.
Just as a quick favor to one of you, if you obviously as both of you at your computer, can one of you go on Google Maps and just look up Pikes Ibiza and actually look at what's next to it? Like, is there actually anything in the surrounding area? Because to be fair, that's a genuine good question. Because I'll even say for audio listeners, like Dan says, when you approach Pikes Ibiza, you do sort of feel like you are in the middle of nowhere. You're in like just farm fields, but it does make me think: are there houses like near it or something? I don't know. Yeah, one of you look that up for me whilst we check.
I'm on there now.
Yeah,
like literally. I don't think I can do a screen grab and share it with you, but there's nothing around it.
_Bianca.k says here, quote, "What is happening in Ibiza lately?" ?
There's another place that's got like a little like a little bed symbol, Canchachi Pistachi. That's the closest thing to it, and that's quite a long way away.
Thing is, though, mate, like if you go to even in this country, if you go to like a little tiny countryside area, and have a little bit of a party, people think that you're having like the biggest rave ever because they've got no context as to how loud things get. Do you know what I mean? So like if they're having a bit of a party and then the local nearby guy in the middle of nowhere in his little village house is like, man, make noise pollution, that's terrible. I'm like, mate, you're not next to the universe though, are you? That's noisy. You know what I mean? Completely different scale. But they just it's just not the same.
Yeah,
like you have it when Creamfields happens, everyone complains about that in the area. But like over the years, they've had little perks to sort of like offset it. You know what I mean? But, everyone complains about Creamfields around here.
Well, all I'll say is that I think
it's pretty big, but yeah.
I think it's safe to say I think we all may be slightly biased against the authorities here, just simply because I think all three of us are big fans of Pikes Ibiza, and I think from what I'm gathering here on the comments, everyone else loves Pikes Ibiza, and I think I've seen quite a few people saying things quote hands off our Pikes and so on and so on. All I'd say is, I really hope there's a genuinely good argument and a good, peaceful resolution to it, because I swear to God, if they even think about closing that place, I swear I'm gonna have to get a flight over there and start protesting. Like,
we'll stand.
They can't. Like, I'm already getting riled up by it. But folks, and for you two, and everyone listening and watching, fear not, the Ibiza triple news. We're ending it on a good note.
Good.
You may already know this anyway. Bora Bora returns to Ibiza.
Yes, I did hear that.
Where it belongs. This is courtesy of Ibiza the Island on Instagram. Did I write anything for this? Saving the best till last. Bora Bora is making its legendary return to the White Isle. Ibiza the Island continues here, quote, Ibiza is about to witness the return of one of its most iconic names. Bora Bora is coming back this summer to revive the raw and authentic spirit that once defined Playa d'Embosa. Long before VIP culture and massive productions took over the island, Bora Bora was the place where locals, workers, artists, and tourists all danced together, with the sea just a few steps away. Another concept, another chance to dance. This new chapter aims to bring back the carefree energy that made Ibiza legendary around the world. Some places are more than just clubs. They become part of history. End quote. Gentlemen, I'm going to be honest and put one out there and say, I don't want to say I've been to Bora Bora, but I walked past it. And Dave, you were there as well. We went to a Shake Shack instead. And we walked past whilst the party was happening. It was the first time we went. It was back in, I forget what year it was now. But so for me to say I've been, I think I would be lying to myself here. So I'm going to say I haven't been. But me and Dave, we did walk past it in the first time we went, but we were on our way to Shake Shack to get one of those crazy burgers. DJ Dancing, have you ever been to Bora Bora?
I have, yeah, many years ago. Yeah, it's great. It was a great vibe. I'm glad that it's coming back. All we need now is space to come back as well, right? Then Boss will be back to its heyday.
Yeah, that's a better way of putting it, because technically space is back, isn't that right, Dave?
Technically it's now back. It's just not what it was, but maybe it could become what it was. You know what I mean? Maybe.
Certainly could be, couldn't it? I mean, obviously it depends on what the inside is like. But yeah, so at least, some troubles with Pikes Ibiza. Hopefully they're like sorting that out. It's a bit shit with Es Puetó, let's really be honest. But at least Bora Bora is coming back, and it is the ultimate destination where you're going to see people completely out of it or off their face, which is rather entertaining. So that would conclude the Ibiza triple news story. Now we're going to get into something slightly nerdy now, but we're all nerds here, right? Even those who are watching. If you think I'm not a nerd, behave yourself. You're watching this podcast, of course you are. So essentially we're going to talk about Juno download, and unfortunately shutting down after more than 2 decades. 2 decades. This comes courtesy of Michael Lawson on Resident Advisor. The long-running digital music store has ceased operations, with its Instagram account also appearing to have been removed. Juno Download has shut down, ending more than 2 decades as one of electronic music's best-known digital music retailers. A statement posted on the company's website announced the closure. Quote, "It's been our privilege to share some of the most incredible music from the most amazing artists," the statement read, "but we're sorry to say that the time has come to say goodbye." The platform had been a key outlet for DJs and collectors since launching in 2006, alongside physical retailer Juno Records. It became one of the most widely used download stores during the peak of the digital musical era. Juno Download was later sold to a US company in 2013. The company said customers will still be able to access and download previous purchases through their account and can contact support for assistance. The statement also directed users to alternative download platforms such as Beatport and TrackSource. At the time of writing, Juno Download's Instagram account has appeared to have been deleted. Juno Download COO Lucas Garcia said, quote, "It's obviously a sad day, but as streaming has become the dominant model of digital music consumption, artists and labels are now more connected than ever with their fans via social media and direct-to-fan services like Bandcamp. So the role of the music web store is becoming less significant." End quote.
That's pretty
Gentlemen,
sad, man. I used to use Juno, Juno Records, to get like physical gifts and stuff.
Yeah.
So is Juno Records still about, or is it just their download part?
Yeah, the record stores are still there.
I was gonna say that's the bit I like the most. So
Yeah, and they're actively producing new content for the Juno Record store. Like literally, they do a post every day. So
yeah, it's interesting the download on there. This sort of reflects the iTunes sort of phase out a little bit. You know what I mean? Like buying music from a store is starting to become very niche, and so there's only a few players now that sort of fill that gap, like Beatport and stuff. So yeah.
Well, yeah, quite literally Beatport and TrackSource, but it makes me feel a bit nervous for them too. Well, maybe not Beatport, but for TrackSource, yeah. Because
if I was
Beatport's
TrackSource, I'd be
big,
watching my back. Yeah, a little bit. I'd be like, oh no, okay, because
Yeah,
you really need is one person to do a good job in that scene, and they'll dominate it. You know what I mean? There's very little complexity to the idea of selling MP3s. So yeah.
I have to say the streaming things worry me.
Yeah, it does with me as well.
Not because I'm old and I like to have physical things in my hand. You know.
Oh yes, you are.
Thanks, James.
You like having things in your hand. Have you turned around and seen how many vinyls are behind you, Dan?
Yeah, there's a couple.
Vinyl.
No, but
vinyl hoarder.
The reason is a lot bigger than that. It's bigger than me. And what people are finding is that even with movies and things like that, people have bought movies from streaming services, and then the movie company has said, "Well, you know what? You can't have that anymore." So it's not on there, and people that have paid for that movie, like literally, they've paid equivalent to the price of the DVD or whatever. Sorry, not DVD, Blu-ray, right? You know, and in some cases like 4K Blu-ray cost, and now they paid for that and they can't access it.
Yeah.
It's like literally you pay that money every month and you actually don't get anything.
That is precisely why I actually started. I actually bought like a CD wallet thing. They were actually really hard to find, but like get a CD wallet and then just start buying Blu-rays like physically, because I don't want that happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and that's why I like to have the physical things as well. You know, because if I paid my money, I own it.
Yeah, exactly.
And more and more and more, we're finding that legal arms of businesses are saying, "Well, no, actually, you don't own it." And there was a thing with the games consoles as well, where they were saying, "Well, no, actually, you've paid for this console and you've bought the games, but actually, we can decide to just brick it anytime we like." You know, basically, if you don't want to subscribe to our monthly thing, then your £500, you know, PlayStation 5 or whatever, we're just going to brick it, and you won't be able to use it. it'll
That's
be
illegal, man. They can't
as
do that.
useful
But
to
yeah.
use doorstop, and that's
Yeah.
it.
It's in regards to music. Like, I will admit, I haven't got much vinyl, but I do have quite a lot of CDs, and I've been hunting them down a bit recently in the loft and all sorts of places. And one thing I think an MP3 can never do is the story behind an album. So here's just one I picked off the shelf. First of all, you get your CDs, right? Oh, there goes one of them. You get your CDs in the box, right? And they're really good. They're high quality. You know, it's none of this like 320 kilobytes now, man. It's full FLAC. And then you get this thing, right? It's a little book that tells you about what you've just bought, and it's got cool things. This one's about Ibiza. It just tells you about, like, look, here's some cool stuff about Ibiza. Man, that's just,
I'm
nice.
totally with you, Dave. In fact, before we started the show, I was showing James this. This is the latest Global Underground release, Deep Dish, live in Dublin, and you know, there's 2 CDs in here, and like literally, it's like a hardbound book, and there's all these beautiful photographs all the way through. There's the story of the night. It starts off. There's a bit. It actually tells you about Dubfire and Sharman having a pint of Guinness in the pub before they go on, and then the writer follows them from them having the pint of pub to going into the venue, you know, picking up another pint on their way to the stage, you know, and then going on the decks, and it's that kind of whole story.
Yeah.
You know,
he was really taking every detail down, wasn't he?
But that's always the way that Global Underground has been. You've always been getting that kind of whole story behind the night. You know, it's not just here's some music that a DJ put together. You know,
and you flick to the next experience. You flick to the next page and it's written, Dubfire's gone for a piss.
Yeah, I think as DJs, MP3 is obviously more convenient, and then streaming services, you know, they're sort of like the ultimate convenience, provided you got the internet for it. And I won't go into that, but that's a different topic entirely. But like, if it's a single, yeah, whatever, I don't care. I'll buy the MP3. If it's an album, or like, in my opinion, all of my stuff are 90% mixed compilations. And they're so gorgeous to sort of go through the back old stuff. Like I got a bunch of like mix CDs off eBay for like £5. We're talking like 20 of them, and all from like 96, 95, you know. And I'm like, wow, this is gold dust. You would never ever be able to hear this mix anywhere online now. Just wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Maybe YouTube at a push, but like that is so nice. And each of them got little books inside them. Or, you know, it's just so nostalgic and nice having that in front of you. It's just different.
It's almost like they add value and like a visual representation of what you're listening to, right?
Yeah, because I listened to one. I was like, man, I've literally been teleported back in time here. I feel like I'm on a dance floor back in 1998. This is amazing. And that is something you can't get from, or maybe you can get it from MP3s, but I've never seen any way you can buy mixes from online.
I don't know about you guys, but what I quite often like to do is I'll put the mix on, you know, and I'll read through the book at the same time. And I'll get that thing. What are you going to do with an MP3? You know,
I've got a whole series of Pasha mixes, and it's like exactly as you say, Dan. It's like, wow, this is so cool. This is what Pasha used to look like back in like 2000 or whatever. Little pictures and words. Yeah, it's just different, man.
Yeah, and all the I've got about 130 Head Candy mix CDs as well. Most of those are like 2 or 3 discs, so there's quite a lot of CDs there. But they're all kind of snapshots, you know, of where Mark Doyle and the Head Candy brand was at the time, you know. So it's all kind of.
You could certainly do a day spending all that, but unfortunately, we can't be doing that right this second. Although maybe we'll have to pen that in for a future episode of a Head Candy marathon. But we're going to quickly move on to another bit of news now, and I'll be honest, there is absolutely no way I can like smoothly transition this, but I'll just quickly say, Fisher, he's going to be a gnome.
Great.
There's no other frigging way I can transition this. So we'll just jump right into it, shall we? Fisher the gnome. Yes, you read that right. Again, Michael Lawson coming again from Resident Advisor. The Australian DJ will voice a new character in the local release of the Disney and Pixar franchise. Michael Lawson writes, quote, Fisher has joined the cast of Toy Story 5, taking on a voice role in the Australian and New Zealand version of the upcoming Disney and Pixar film. The Gold Coast artist will voice Garden Gnome, a character described as part of a community of forgotten toys living in an abandoned backyard shed. Announcing the news on Instagram today, but back in June 1st, he said he was, quote, incredibly excited to be involved with a franchise his family has loved for years, and that he was looking forward to watching the film with his children. The announcement follows the cancellation of Fisher's Out to Lunch festival earlier this year, with organizers citing ongoing cost of living pressures. The event is expected to return in 2027. Well, I mean, that this Fisher's Out to Lunch festival has been looks like they say here, obviously, it's been cancelled, but hey, at least you get to hear him as a garden gnome. But DJs being garden gnomes or DJs being voices in animations, what do you think? Brief, quick feedback.
Incredibly controversial on this, and ask if he's actually going to do the voice himself, or if he's going to pay somebody else to do it.
Yes,
sorry, I had to go there.
Yes, an extraordinary piece of news here where, yeah.
Is this just in the Australian release?
Yes, the New Zealand and Australian release. It makes me wonder who's going to be the UK voice.
I didn't know I thought an English release was just an English release. I didn't realize each territory got its own
Disney do different languages and things as well, don't they? So
languages I get,
and the Minions. If you were Slovakian and you listen to the English voice release, you'd realize that actually all the Minions were actually talking Slovakian.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, but in Slovakia, they changed their voices because people have begun, they're just talking English.
Oh, no way.
Well, Slovakian, you're right. So, yeah.
Maybe for the British English version, the voice for the gnome will be Carl Cox.
Just every territory gets a famous DJ to be the gnome.
Yeah, that's it.
Friend, like who would be the American one?
Oh, to be honest, I reckon Fatboy Slim would be a great one for the English.
Yeah, Norman Cook.
Yeah,
fantastic DJ, and now he's a garden gnome in Toy Story 5.
Yeah, he's got personality for it, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. And I imagine like the American one would be, I don't know, like John Summit, maybe who we referenced earlier in the show. Maybe it's always a possibility.
Maybe somebody a bit more out there, maybe Steve Aoki or somebody like that. Somebody who like layers of personality to throw into it.
I tell you what, though, they'd have a hard time for the Dutch version or the Netherlands version of it. Like, who are they going to pick? I mean, Jesus Christ, there's just far too many of them. So, do we pick Armin van Buuren or do we pick Tiesto? Or...
Yeah, I was going to say Tiesto is like the first thing that came to mind there. He's Dutch, right? Tiesto.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
The French one would be difficult because the garden gnomes would have to be wearing robot helmets, wouldn't they?
Hey, that'd be a great Easter egg there. But I will, if I can. Easter eggs are also found on video games, and that's the next bit of news that we're going to go to now. I can't say this is terrible news or fantastic news, but it's pretty good news, I would say. Forza Horizon 6. I think it's out now, actually. I don't know whether someone wants to confirm that, but I think it is.
Yeah, I love that game. That's one of my. I love racing games, and that's one of my favorite racing games. Forza.
Well, there may be more reason to like it even more, Dan, because electronic music bangers are on Forza Horizon 6. This comes courtesy of Christian Eid on DJ Mag. Forza Horizon 6 has officially launched, featuring a soundtrack centered around electronic music. The driving game, which is set in Japan, features more than 200 tracks across 9 radio stations, making it the largest licensed soundtrack in the history of the series. 200 tracks, flipping heck. Artists featured include Calvin Harris, remixing Odd Mob's Blessings alongside Clementine Douglas, Barry Can't Swim with Cars Pass By Like Childhood Sweethearts, Fisher with Stay, Porter Robinson with Cheerleader, LP Jobby with You Are, Blondish with Self Love, and One O Tricks Point Never with A Barely Lit Path. The game will also include another Hospital Records dedicated radio station, with the drum and bass label having featured in every Forza Horizon game since the second edition. Playlists for many of the radio stations can also be found on below on Spotify. Though hospitals will remain offline until 24th of July, with people only able to access it in the game for now. Yeah. Calvin Harris's feature on Forza Horizon 6 comes ahead of the launch of his summer residency at Ushuaia, Ibiza. And, well, as of the time of that article, he actually had his opening party on the 29th of May. So as you can see here, plenty of Forza Horizon 6 Spotify playlists here. You've got your Bass Arena Pulse, Horizon Pulse. Then you've got Horizon Opus. If I can be really honest, I thought it was going to be like Horizon. Well, Horizon Bass makes sense, but I thought the rest would be like Horizon House Music, Horizon Drum and Bass, Horizon Dubstep.
Well, these are the fictional radio shows in the universe, right? So Pulse is one of the radio stations in the game. It's like Kiss FM for GTA, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. That's me just being an idiot then.
Yeah. Or J-Rock, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think this is such a big brain move because, like, I will say, I got into dance music through video games, and the main reason is there was a few video games with fantastic soundtracks.
Oh my god,
yeah. And it's people always sleep on it, but I'm thinking, man, that's how you capture like an audience. Like, I will say though, it's a bit disappointing. There's no Japanese artists. The game's set in Japan. Come on, there's a lot of talent you can draw on there, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, just based off what I'm seeing on some of the top tracks, I think the only Japanese sounding artist is this guy called Nina Geraci with the track Info Hazard. I don't know whether she is Japanese or not, but I mean, to be fair, you raise a good point, Dave, because of course, I mean, I've actually not played Forza Horizon, but I've played racing games before. But a lot of the time, you are sat in the car and you're driving, and well, what are you going to listen to?
You actually laugh at this. I saw a video of I forget what it was. I think it was a BM, and in their new cars now, they've got this feature where if you're playing a song, if you accelerate, that it will add like a phaser effect to the track, sort of thing, just like in Wipeout, sort of thing. Yeah, wow. And I was like, man, that's crazy. That's going to cause so many speed accidents. Sort of thing.
Like, listen how cool the track is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you what, this goes back years and years and years and years in terms of video games. I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember a game called Wipeout on the original PlayStation.
Oh, of course we do. Wipeout fans.
2090 and then Wipeout 3 as well. And on those, the soundtracks even got released on CD with Sasha, Photek, Underworld, and loads of people like that doing absolutely fabulous tracks to fly your kind of space crate around the track on.
I mean, Dave, you tell him. Just tell him.
Well, that's what got me into it. I didn't know who the Prodigy was until I played Wipeout, and I was like, man, this band sounds amazing. Then there's like 7-year-old me rocking out to the Prodigy, you know what I mean? You know, smacking my bitch up and stuff, and very concerned parents. But like, you know, it sort of got me interested in the music. And then, like, one I think people can all relate to is Need for Speed Underground, because that soundtrack was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was really good.
You can play tracks from that now, and everyone who's my sort of age goes, "Oh my god, this is great!" And it's like it works so well. It's like a medium. So
yeah, and actually, I'll actually say a quick shout out to our previous guest, Sarandub, because funnily enough, we actually spoke about Forza Horizon because he spoke about how he likes playing video games, and I said to him, I'm sure it was in this interview, he was, we were saying that recently he's been playing Forza Horizon, and it just so happens there was a bit of news on it, now, which is really cool. But yeah, that would cap off the news, and we are an astonishing 24 pissing minutes over, but these things happen. We do have time to go into the discussion topic, But I'm going to be really honest with, well, everyone, I guess, is that I actually need the toilet. So, gents, do you want to keep talking about Forza Horizon whilst I run to the toilet?
20 minutes over and he's to go to the toilet. Come on, man.
Honestly, I need to come to break as well.
Not me on my own.
Oh, God, you need the toilet as well.
Dave, this is your penance for being late.
Wait,
no,
wait.
No.
No, wait, hang on.
You can talk amongst yourself.
No, wait. I've got the perfect idea. I know what I'm going to do.
Go
Wait. So, whilst we all run to the toilet, I'll just leave everyone with this as like holding music. Okay, are we ready to leave?
Oh no, yeah, we're running.
All right. Okay. So guys, we're gonna try and be as quick as possible. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Keep on going. Don't worry about it.
Wow, this is the level we've got to on the podcast.
You gotta keep on just going with it. Keep on going, people.
Oh, it just loops as well. Oh my god, no.
Don't worry about it. Life is just, you gotta keep on just going with it. Keep on going, people.
I know. I
Keep on going. Don't worry about it. It makes any sense. Don't worry about your life. Doesn't make sense. Just, you gotta keep on just going with it.
Well, if you just tune into the podcast, we do talk about stuff like DJ news and stuff, but apparently this is going to be, I don't know, copyright claim, I guess.
You gotta keep on just going with it.
Yeah.
Keep on going, people. Just keep on going. Don't worry about it. It makes any sense. Don't worry about your life. Doesn't make sense. Just, you gotta keep on just going.
Back in the room.
Oh wow, Dan, you were literally like the same time as me as well. Absolutely fantastic.
I had an idea. I was thinking while I was doing stuff. we need a toilet track like we do when we play out.
Yeah.
Or you know that thing that they do on TikTok and stuff like that, where they go sometime later.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. Yeah, no, something like that would be pretty good. But I don't know. Like, I think it's just my bladder. Like, because I'm drinking so much water here. Like, but essentially, we're gonna try and do this fairly briefly. But we're gonna go into the discussion topic now, and it's to do with an opinion piece by 3FM columnist Dario Goldbach. I've got the Instagram post of it here. So essentially, 3FM columnist Dario Goldbach has mentioned that most festivals are too expensive for the average person and nothing sells out anymore. But how true is this across the world, the whole spectrum? After reviewing Coachella recently and having seen some of the price points for various services such as Locker, charging for phones, cabanas, VIP packages, and so on, has it really gotten out of control to the point now where festivals are pricing people out completely? And I'm going to move on to just this caption here, courtesy of Hard News NL on Instagram, who says, quote, 3FM columnist Dario Goldbach thinks we've become too spoiled and it's driving ticket prices up. From oyster bars and glamping to yoga, makeup stations, and, quote, sensory zones, festivals have turned into full-on luxury experiences. Quote, all that extra stuff has to be brought onto a field and it's not free, he argues. I'm going to quickly mention a little bit here in the article. What am I saying? In the post. So Dario Goldbach says, festivals too expensive. Ticket prices have become one of the biggest talking points in the festival industry in recent years. In 2026, buying a festival ticket increasingly feels like a serious investment. Prices keep rising, fewer events sell out, and the debate returns every summer. But according to writer and 3FM beat columnist Dario Goldbach, we may be blaming the wrong people. Quote, those poor organizers have to drag way too much stuff onto a field just to keep us satisfied. In a sharp and unapologetic column on Dutch radio station 3FM, he takes aim at the modern festival experience and the audience behind it. Quote, festivals are too expensive. Nothing sells out anymore. That's not surprising. We've become spoiled. In his view, today's festival goer has turned into a demanding consumer, expecting more comfort, more options, and more curated experiences. Goldbach sketches a festival world that is drifting further and further away from its roots. What once started as a field with a stage and a sound system has evolved into a full-scale experience. The list is long and almost absurd. And as mentioned, oyster bars, glamping, and so on, including also, I've not seen this at festivals, but zip lines, tooth gems, acrylic nails, tattoo studios, sensory friendly zones, and glassware. What? Every extra comes at a cost, one that ultimately gets passed on in the ticket price. They let us in behind a fence and checked on Monday who survived. To make his point, Goldbach looks back at another era, Dower Festival 2011. His descriptions is raw, exaggerated, and instantly recognizable to anyone who has experienced it. No luxury, no frills, just music and the crowd. Food and drinks were simple, almost primitive. Warm beer in plastic cups and a sausage sandwich as the default option. Choices were minimal, vegetarian option, fries with mayo, vegan option, fries without. No curated food courts, no dietary menus, no personalization. You took what you could get. And then there was the weather. No covered areas, no wooden walkways, no staff handing out ponchos. When it rained, it really rained. You got soaked. There was nothing. There was nowhere to hide. The entire site turned into a thick, sucking mud field where every step became heavier. Or as he puts it, a place where you started to question whether you were still on Earth or stuck inside in some kind of K-hole. Return to basics. Quote, if you want weekend tickets back to €150, we'll have to settle for less. But according to Goldbach, that was exactly the point. It was minimalism. It was nihilism. It was a simple life. Fewer choices, less comfort, fewer expectations, and therefore a deeper sense of acceptance, almost kind of a Buddhist contentment. His conclusion is simple but confronting. If you want cheaper festivals, you have to be willing to give something up. If you want weekend oh yeah, you already said that. No more all-in exclusive experiences, just a return to the basics, leaking tents, ringing ears, bad diarrhea, surviving at 180 BPM, end quote. Now, gents, I will say, obviously,
I don't want diarrhea, thanks. Just
very opinionated. However, to further add, if you like, to to this, I want to also bring you to a little bit of what he's talking about, because, of course, I did a little bit of research on it. And I'm going to show you, and I'm sure, Dave, you probably won't be surprised to see this, but this is Creamfield's website for 2026. And I'm sure you got the same email as well, Dave, but they sent an email out recently about this new feature called Downtown. And it says here, quote, for 2026, Downtown builds on last year's momentum with a host of new experiences alongside expanded fan favorites. In a UK festival first, paddle courts arrive on site, giving festival goers the chance to experience the world's fastest growing racket sport between sets. Competitive energy step-ups with the introduction of a brand new darts tournament, while the hugely popular Creamfield's gym returns bigger than ever. Now expanded with upgraded equipment, new training zones, and a full schedule of fitness challenges designed to test strength, endurance, and stamina. And there are 5 unique zones. You have Electric Avenue, you got the Ballpark, you got Sunrise Strip, Pamper Street, the Boulevard, and I'm sure there was was there a menu? Sorry, it's not a menu, a map. I'm sure there was a map somewhere. Tickets, lineup, discover. Is it Discover Downtown?
Where is Downtown? Was it there?
Downtown can be found in the same as former campsite village. There was a menu somewhere, but anyway, I'll quickly show you anyway. So in each section of the downtown area, you've got all these things. So you've got Bingo Bango, you've got a DJ Academy, you've got Darts League, you even have, I shit you not, an inflatable church. Yeah, so there's that. I have no idea if that is real, if someone genuinely did a wedding at Creamfields, but I mean, well, yeah. So there's that. And of course, not complete without an indoor arcade. All new indoor arcade, a vibrant retro-inspired haven packed with classic arcade games. As mentioned here, Bingo Bango, which is like a big indoor event, obviously to do with bingo. So there's all of that in Electric Avenue. Then in Ballpark as well, obviously you've got your paddle sport thing, and then of course Pamper Street. After a fresh makeover of its own, it's big. It's back and bigger than ever. You've got hairstyling, face and body art, henna tattoos, barber services, body glitter artists, makeup artists, and beauty treatments. Then you've got the Boulevard, which has a co-op. A co-op. I think that's mad. Market stalls and official merchandise. Then you've got Sunset Strip, which has disco Pilates, meditation, yoga, sound baths, bodyweight workouts, hot curl Pilates.
It's like a holiday park, isn't it? It's wild.
Yeah.
It's
I
kind of
don't know
getting
what
that way, isn't
sound
it?
bath is. What is a sound bath?
Oh, sound bath is like basically you lie down on a yoga mat and then you're bathed in the sound that's normally like gongs and things like that.
Yeah, but it says sound.
Yeah,
as in like
it's the sound from the gongs, James. It's like a meditational thing.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, forgive my ignorance there, but I actually had no idea what that was all about. So this goes into a little bit of what Dario is talking about, and we're going to go one step further. So obviously, these are some of the things that you see or will be featured at Creamfields, the festival in the northwest of the UK. But we're going to also see another aspect of it, and we did previously cover this in a previous episode, but Ultra Music Festival. And obviously, this is for next year, so you'll have to bear with us on that. But obviously, ticket prices are obviously varied in different tiers. But of course, what I noticed here from when I was looking on crewfare.com for accommodation, for example, because there is no camping in Ultra Music Festival. You know, you are paying here. I mean, this is obviously all in pounds because obviously we're in the UK. But you've got here £255 a night here, I think. And you've also got £192 a night. That is the cheapest one going. But if I do this in dollars for all you Americans, $245 a night at the Even Hotel, which is at Miami International Airport. And that's another thing. That's a 5.9 mile distance from Bayfront Park in Miami. So like that's quite far out if you want to do it on the cheap. For those in Europe, that's €226 a night as well. And that's obviously again at its cheapest. But of course, if we look here, if I go back into pounds for us British, you've got here all sorts of different types of hotels here. Hyatt Regency, 445 a night. Icon Brickell, 911 a night. East Miami Residences, 1788 a night. Bloody Nora. So yeah, you've got, and that's just your accommodation. You know what I mean? So it's it really is saying something about those types of prices. But I'm going to go a bit further now, because I'm also going to show you Burning Man tickets as well. Let's have a quick look at this. Black Rock City 2026, Sunday, August 30th to Monday, September 7th. This is the latest latest edition of it, so to speak. And basically what you're seeing here are different types of tickets. You've got the OMG sale, you've got Step, Ticket Aid, Resilience Program, and then you had the ones here, Steward Sale and Main Sale. But these are some of the ticket prices that you're seeing here, all in dollars. So if you want, what was it? You've got them starting at $550 and it is you're a creative soul destined for Black Rock City. And then it goes all the way up to essentially $3,000, with it saying here, quote, "You're illuminating the playa with generosity, making really special generational magic happen. Your contribution lights the way for inclusive celebration today and into the future." That's one hell of a description for giving them $3,000. But like, obviously, there's that as well. But then I'm going to go one further because I've done my research. So we're just to even things out. Obviously, we've seen one in the UK, 2 in the US, and now we've got this as well. Kappa Future in Torino, in Italy. A pretty stonking lineup. But again, for those who would think about wanting to go wherever you're from, these are what some of the tickets are at the moment. 3-day pass, €250 plus fees. Fees are always a bit loose terming. Even single day tickets at €105, and that's just for the one day. And is Kappa Future 3 days? Yes.
Why does it say, if you go back to the tickets, it says general admission like $250, but then what's the gold experience for $1,800?
Well, thanks for asking, Dave. They've got it all here for you. It says here, quote, "The gold experience is the most exclusive way to experience Kappa Future Festival. All VIP benefits plus access to the Future stage next to the DJ, free side events, and free dedicated transportation from the center of Torino to the festival and vice versa. A unique experience from start to finish."
What about the $5,000 one?
I was going to say, you've got an art and techno experience. It's $5,000.
I'm almost scared to know what this means, because the thing is, if this one, that's €1,800, is you get to be next to the DJ, and this one's $5,000.
Yeah.
Are we jumping into bed with them as well? This one?
The other one included VIP terrace, VIP lounge, and free transport and stuff, didn't it?
Yeah,
what else could they
that's not
possibly
VIP
do?
enough, Dan. We're going to go to the next level of VIP.
VIP.
We're going to go beyond, even further.
VIP. Art and Techno is a full 4-day immersive experience in Torino between music, arts, and culture. The package includes a stay in a 5-star hotel, gourmet dining, exclusive guided tours to art galleries, and private collections, plus gold access to the festival and side events.
So it's a hotel bundle, basically.
But you also get
plus VIP. Yeah.
You get a welcome kit.
Wow.
You get lunch and dinners included, but in brackets, no drinks. Free transport with an asterisk, but that's to and from the centre of Torino. You get a wardrobe and luxury toilet, premium cocktail bar, restaurant, and beauty bar.
I find the free transport thing so funny because people will legit get that thinking, "Oh, but it's free transport," and the bus literally costs like €2 probably. You know what I mean? Like,
but yeah,
for that money, I'd expect more than a bus ticket.
Yeah, right.
You'd expect like a limo transfer,
a gold limo. Yeah.
But
yeah, exactly.
Again, though, an interesting insight, though, because obviously, if you think about going to this festival, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of VIP experiences. Obviously, I'm including a single day ticket as well for Kappa Future. So there's that, and then also I'm gonna try and even things out. I'm now going to go to Albania, to the beloved Kala Festival, which I've not been to, but I would like to go at some point. But Dario obviously mentions in his discussion or his column that essentially festivals never sell out. However, to counter this argument, Kala Festival did sell out for this. Oh, I've just realized we're recording on the 11th of June. This literally just finished yesterday. Absolutely incredible. But yeah, Kala Festival is based in Dermi in Albania. And it was something I wanted to highlight here because it looked absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful looking festival. But again, they did sell out. If anyone's watching or listening that had been to Kala Festival in Albania, I would love to know actually how much you actually paid for your ticket, because I was unable to actually see because they've already sold out, and you can only pre-order for 2027. but that was just something to show as well. And then another bit of research I did was Glastonbury 2025 as another example. General admission tickets cost £373 plus a £5 booking fee, bringing to a total of £378.50 per ticket. And a breakdown of the ticket costs. The purchasing process includes an initial deposit of £75, balance payment of £303, and an additional fees of £10.25 per order and coach package tickets, included varying travel plans ranging from £47 to £160, depending on the departure city. Gents, I've realized to demonstrate all of that to you, I've literally only left us with only 15 minutes left to actually discuss this. But are festivals doing too much, or is he just talking out of his arse?
I think there's a generational thing that I just want to address very, very quickly.
Tell
back
us.
in the days when festivals very first started, when they simply were fields with a stage, and then the bands would come up, and sometimes the equipment would work and sometimes it wouldn't because it was all in a field, and they got like literally petrol jennies around the back of it and stuff like that. You know, Generation X were absolutely happy with that. They were like, yay, we get to see live bands, you know, that we probably wouldn't get to see anywhere else all together at the same time. And you know, we didn't care that we were in the middle of a field and it was going to rain because we were up in the moment. Nowadays, the younger generations are very much, you know, we get a lot of this, oh, you know, I can't go to work today because I'm not feeling it and stuff like that, you know. Oh, I might not like the food and things like that, right? So they kind of got to cater for these things, you know. Oh, I can't use the toilet at you know, out and about or whatever, right? So they, you know, they have to like level up and say, actually, these are going to be really nice toilets. You know, that we're going to have loads of like gourmet food. There'll be loads of options that you will like. You know, there's going to be better places for you to sleep, safe places for you to put your stuff and things like that. And all around that has incorporated an awful lot of cost. You know, there's also the kind of one-upmanship on the other festivals as well, with video displays and things like that. You know, it used to, back in the day, it was just a few coloured light bulbs that went on and off. You know, powerful lights nonetheless.
Yes.
But you know, now we've got like video production screens and things like that guys are working 6 to 9 months on the visuals behind the acts before they even get to that field, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of money and effort that goes into these things. So yeah, there is some money put into that. How important is it? You know, would you be just as happy to see that band turn up and play live, you know, if they were just on a stage? Or have we reached the point now where now the expectation is that it's not a very good festival if it doesn't have all that stuff?
Well, that is precisely a very interesting question, because I would also ask in the sense of, say if you know, there was an act or a number of acts at a festival lineup that you were like, oh my god, I so want to see them, because you never, like, this is your chance to see them, right? It's the one and only chance. Yeah. But the festival ticket is really expensive, mainly because there are things like paddle courts and beauty bars and so on at this festival that might price you out. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know how much of that it actually is, to be honest with you. If I'm going to go to a festival, I'm going to go there to see the band, see the music. That's what's important to me.
Yeah, you know, no. What I mean is,
I want to go and play paddle tennis or something. I'll go.
No. What I mean is,
or your thoughts.
Like that. Your thoughts on the fact that your festival ticket would be more expensive because they have to pass on that cost to have those extra things. Does that make sense?
I don't think I'd be that interested in those things. You know,
I know you wouldn't be, but what I mean is, how would you feel with the idea that you'd be priced out because they're adding those things?
At the end of the day, people always find a way to do the stuff that they want to do. Right, you know,
jump the fence.
Well, not that, but you know, there are people that live on benefits, right? And they still manage to find money for beer and cigarettes every week, right? You know, so whatever you want, you know, people find a way to do it. So you know, if you desperately want to see those bands at that particular festival, then you'll save for 6 months. People go to Ibiza and they save all year
Yeah.
to pay for their flights and stuff to go to Ibiza because that's what they want to do, right? You find a way to do it. So is it pricing people out? No, not necessarily. Is this whole thing about the festivals haven't sold out anymore? Could that be good marketing to say, actually there's still tickets available? Go and buy those tickets. Could it be marketing?
Yeah, and just to further add, actually, just for the research, Dave, thank you for actually clarifying that this was for a Carla Festival. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, I used way back. So
oh, excellent. Yeah,
it sold out really quick though. Like they sold out within like a couple of days. So
that now, there you go. So like to almost counter argue that, what does that say to Carla Festival? Because I'm pretty sure they don't have an inflatable church and a paddle court, for example.
No. I might float away because it's on the beach, right?
Yeah, it was 325, and that includes a hotel stay at Carla, apparently. So interesting. Yeah.
So it's an interesting balancing game of cost and so on. Would you say location and like country? Do you think that has a considerable effect on how much festivals are?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, Albania is essentially, I think it's on the edge of being a third world country, isn't it, in terms of its GDP? And actually, Spain is as well. A lot of people don't realise that Spain is. Ibiza is kind of the exception to that. But Albania is a lot cheaper than the US, for example. We were looking at Ultra Festival, and places like that. The Italy, obviously, a lot more expensive as well.
I'll quickly ask you, Dave. Actually, what are your thoughts? Obviously, because we've been to Creamfields. What are your thoughts on the fact that there's this massive downtown where you have an inflatable church, paddle courts, and a beauty bar?
Interesting, man. Like, if you were asking me about the Creamfields that we went to, completely unnecessary. You have for 2 days. You want to go to the gigs, have a good time. Having said that, I remember the first year we went, I had a lot of fun on the rides. You know what I mean? So even back when we went, we had fun not listening to the music. We had fun just messing about with the rides and stuff. Now, I think Creamfields have turned into something far bigger than what we remember. You know what I mean? I think it's turned into this giant thing now.
Oh,
I don't even know how many days it runs for, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's nearing a week long now, sort of thing. And in such a context, it stops being a festival and it starts becoming like a dance music version of Butlins, essentially. And if you're going to have that, you need to have the infrastructure to support it. One thing that you mentioned, which I was like, my God, I know people that would literally, like, without that, they would not survive the festival. And that's the whole, like a whole makeup area and, like, well-being thing. And I'm like, man, I know people that would literally panic and bring a suitcase of stuff like that. You know what I mean? But the fact it's already there, they don't have to worry about it. And so, like, they've seen the gap. They know what people want. So I'm like, yeah, they're smart. But yeah, I do agree at the same time, Creamfields is exceptionally expensive now.
And so, even the idea they've got a co-op in the downtown.
Yeah. I think the best way to do it.
Actually, that's a good thing because actually, it gives people that don't want to spend like 20, 30 quid on each meal the option to actually go and get some food at a more reasonable cost. So I think the co-op's actually a pretty good thing.
I will say that as well. Like when you're going through like the initial pitch, it's like, yeah, the only food should be hot dogs, and it should be. And I'm thinking, man, I actually like the fact that there's a variety of like food now because like I'm starting to realize that not everyone can just eat a greasy ass cheeseburger and be happy with that. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, okay, I get that. I understand that now. And the same with like. So I think variety is a good thing, right? You can't just be happy with the bare basics. I think you should cater for like a variety of diets, a variety of your audiences and things like that. It's how far do you take it? I think when you start putting VIP stuff everywhere and having bottles of champagne and like a lot of the stuff in the States, that's when it goes too far, in my opinion. But just having a variety of food, yeah, that's good, man. I totally think that's a good idea. You know what I mean? Because yeah, not everyone can sort of eat a McDonald's and be happy with it. Maybe we could when we were younger. You know what I mean? Just one of those things that makes me think a little bit of like how a festival can actually be. So
you could almost say that what you're suggesting is to have some form of inclusivity in terms of like food options and perhaps drink options as well. But obviously, in your sense, I guess you're saying, but just not taking the piss with it.
Yeah, a little bit. Like the inflatable church, yeah, it's a fun gimmick, but like, how many fun gimmicks are they going to throw in? Do you know what I mean? So, like, I mean, it doesn't really matter so much at Creamfields though, because if you just want that music experience, you get a 2-day ticket. If you want to have like all this crazy stuff, then you go for the full 5 days or however how long it is now. So you get to choose still anyway. But yeah.
Well, in closing, as we've only got 5 minutes left, I'm going to turn to you, Dan, first. In response to Dario Goldbach's argument of saying that festivals in general are too expensive and the average person can't afford it and nothing sells out anymore, what is your response in your opinion and your experiences? Go.
I think they are getting very, very expensive. I think that's a valid point.
Yeah.
Is the stuff that they're adding actually worth it, or do we actually need to get back to grassroots? Like, well, literally grassroots in a field. I mean, I would say, yeah, get back to that. You know, get back to basics. You know, it's the experience that you go for. You know, and and if you spend the next 3 months telling your mates about that weren't there, you know, oh my God, we saw this band and they were so amazing, but I was covered in mud and I still didn't care. You know, it was tipping it down with rain and I still didn't care. You wouldn't even believe what the toilets are like, and I still didn't care because the band were just so damn good and I didn't get to, you know, I wouldn't have got to see them anywhere else. That's life informing.
Yeah.
You know, you don't get that with glamping, as they're calling it these days, right?
That sounds like you've like read that out of the Bible of clubbing somewhere. Over to you, Dave. In response to Dario's statement of most festivals are too expensive for the average person and nothing sells out anymore. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I get the heart of the message of what he's trying to say. All I'd say is let's veer away from this VIP culture of bottles of champagne and throwing $5,000 down for a ticket and stuff. Guys, like, it's just not worth it. You know what I mean? Like, if that's the experience you want, go to Vegas. You know what I mean? Don't go to a random ass festival. But on the same time, I do like the idea that festivals are a little bit more there's a bit more variety going on them, especially now they've gone on for so long, a little bit, you know what I mean? And like I said, for me, I don't care. I'm a smelly, grubby old guy, you know what I mean? But I can understand how some people do value showers. Like, I understand that completely. You know what I mean? So, like, I get it, but like, yeah,
I'll definitely say that I've in the past, when going to Creamfields, there was times where I thought, I wouldn't mind with a shower, but I put up with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's like
when it's for 5 days though.
Oh yeah, because I was going to say, when we went, when it was 3 days, I remember on day 3, I remember waking up and I woke up with a fruit bar like stuck to my face. Because
mate, can you just imagine on the first night you throw it up down your top or something?
Yeah, you're pretty boned then, aren't you?
Yeah, and like that happened. It happened a lot, and I'm like, yeah, okay. In that scenario, a shower's kind of nice, to be honest with you. But yeah.
Yeah, and actually, to be honest, I actually didn't manage to even cover some of the other festivals that often are in topic discussions. Obviously, we reviewed Coachella in a previous episode, so obviously I deliberately didn't speak about that. But there's also things like Tomorrowland and Tomorrow World in Belgium and in the US, in Chattanooga. But essentially, of course, they also have very immersive accommodation options, VIP options, and they I think they still do have camping options. It's called Dreamland, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. But again, I think there's a big difference between VIP bottle service and a shower. I think that's a completely different discussion.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah. So,
or luxury toilets.
Well, yeah. What's luxury about it? You know, it's clean? You know, like.
Also, you know, I'm just I'm sounding a bit like a grumpy old man now, but people thinking that they're very important people because they've got some money to throw around. That doesn't make you important.
Yeah, that's also an interesting point as well. I think in closing, we can definitely say, on Dave's point of view, sort of, but not really. But we do like the food options. And then Dan is, yes, grassroots, quite literally. Let's just have an effing rave and have some lights and speakers, and we're all sound, aren't we? And then in my closing statement, I would definitely say, going back to I think I'm on a similar page to Dave. I'd probably take 2 scoops from both buckets, so to speak. And I think I probably would be aligning more with Dave to be like, quite like some of the options. Some of it is good ideas, but like there are just definitely things that I would not be willing to pay for or also justify a high price, especially with paddle courts and inflatable churches and all that stuff. But yeah, very bizarre. We've got 30 seconds left before we're ending the show. So let me just quickly mention to everyone, or to remind everyone, you can watch and listen to the Changing Faces podcast on YouTube and Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from, or direct on Changing Faces Radio or our Changing Faces Mixcloud or on our Mixcloud Live. If you're watching it live, fantastic. You can check out our latest updates at Hey Changing Faces on both Instagram and Facebook, or on Changing Faces RS on X. And for everything else, you can visit changingfaces.live. Let's have our final remarks. Say bye, everyone.
Say bye, everyone.
With more enthusiasm.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Shouting. I can't hear you.